FSA dollars are about to expire. Here's the best way to spend them now. Flexible savings accounts, FSAs, are not so flexible when it comes to one aspect, timing. Unlike health savings accounts, HSAs, which, also offered by employers as a way to use pre-tax earnings towards health-related purchases, FSAs typically do not roll over into the next calendar year. This means that if you've designated a certain amount of money, in 2018 individuals offered FSAs could put as much as $2,650 in, a max that's elevating to $2,700 in 2019, you have until December 31st to use any remaining funds. The important thing to know is that FSA money is use it or lose it, says staff reporter at Policy Genius. There are two exceptions to this rule, both of which are decided by employers. Sometimes they'll give you grace period of 2.5 months, meaning you'll have until about March 15th, to spend the previous year's FSA balance. Another option is they'll give you rollover up to $500. Horvath stresses that both of these extension options aren't the general rule for FSAs. Ideally, you'll want to use any FSA money remaining now before the clock strikes 12 on December 31st. As FSA holders likely know, you can use your FSA money to cover your copays as well as, so if you've got any appointments or pharmacy pickups scheduled, be sure to keep your FSA card handy. If you've still got FSA cash to burn, consider these spending tips. FSAs are tricky in that they cover most OTC health-related drugstore purchases, but you need a prescription for some OTC items. To be clear, certain items, like bandages and contact lens solution, you do not need a prescription for if paying with FSA funds. Other products, like Neosporin or OTC allergy medicine, you do need one. What's the deal here? Why do certain OTC items suddenly require prescriptions when using FSA funds? How do you know which items will be covered by your FSA money and which won't? Sans RX, an especially salient concern when you don't have a FSA card, but instead are relying on reimbursement through your HR. Items that have an active medical ingredient, like antibiotic cream and antihistamines, require an RX. Compliance Director tells NBC News. Better fortunately for people with diabetes, insulin is an exception to this strange rule, which has been in effect for both FSAs and HSAs since January 2011. Co-founder of King Children, a custom eyewear startup, highlights some useful ways to use your FSA funds before the 12/31 deadline. The best way to use your FSA dollars before year-end is to visit FSAstore.com, says founder and CEO of Make Lemonade. They have thousands of curated items that qualify for FSA spend, and using the site will save you significant time because everything is in one place. You can purchase everything from vitamins and sunscreen to first aid kits and defibrillators. As a freelancer, I don't have an FSA, but having spent some time researching FSA Store, I second Friedman's advice. The site is easy to search, has very available customer service reps, and if additional paperwork is required by your employer, it will have their customer service department prepare that, says Ijome Rook, consumer education specialist at FSAstore.com. We have 4,000 eligible products, which is arguably the most comprehensive eligibility list out there, says Rook. The site also offers curated bundles by category, lending a giftable edge to its selection. For instance, you can get the for $88.99. Why not put this in a frilly basket and gift it to an expecting mom for Christmas? You could also curate your own bundle for, say, someone about to go on a big trip, stuffing a basket or stocking full of. All in all, it's not a bad way to use money you've already set aside, pre-tax, to spread some holiday cheer. Iruk shares some of the site's big sellers right now. FSAstore.com will be accepting orders for 2018 FSA covered items through midnight on New Year's Eve, Iruk says, meaning you have literally until the very last minute of the year to make a purchase online. In case you were wondering, I certainly does. Drugstores generally do, but consider consulting a pharmacist if you have questions about an item's eligibility. FSAs are widely available from employers, but they don't see a great deal of participation. According to a 2015 by Mercer, only 22% of eligible employees contributed to a healthcare FSA and 6% contributed to a childcare FSA, says editorial director at financial services company. So, based on that, I think it's likely that not as many people are benefiting from FSAs as could. I actually think underutilization may be as big an issue as lack of signing up in the first place. Getting the most out of your FSA funds can be a bit of a headache, particularly if you're buying items that require prescriptions or if your company doesn't issue a card but instead requires you to pay out of pocket and then get reimbursed, but these accounts are still worth looking into. FSAs get pushed aside because people may not think of them immediately or they do not realize what they cover, says Horvath. My big advice is to talk to your employer, see if they can offer rolling FSAs and look into what is covered. If you're spending regularly on doctor appointments or prescriptions, definitely look into this. Almost everyone can benefit in some way.